So now to wrap this up, I decided to sell this game. The reason for that is that it's I usually end up with 4 blight, and monsters get too hard, and after a turn or two I just die. My health never it never survives. Now, why? What is the problem with this game? The problem is the single-tiered deck. For one, this draw deck is a single-tiered deck with everything. 69 faculty. That's an astronomically large number of possible sequences, and it all depends on if you're lucky or not with the right cards, with focus combinations, stun combinations, and you have to be really lucky. And if luck can decide whether you live or die, that's a bad design. So the single tier deck should have been a tier deck. So with sets of cards, with limited randomization. That's one of the problems I always see in beginner Kickstarters. Just one large deck with immediate effects that decide whether you succeed or not. Lord of the Rings, the adventure deck game, is another example. And the events, as I already said, there are too many cave events. You get completely railroaded by the lack of agency you actually have. You think you have a nice path and you have a plan, and it gets disrupted by cave-in events that relocate you or not. And it gets worse from that, because you have cards like this that you have to defeat in one turn with 6 plus 2 per level, and this is not described in the rule book itself, but in the example of the rule book you have to do this -1. So on level 1 it doesn't count, it's just 6. On level 2 it counts once, so it's y times x minus 1 in brackets. Almost half the time I just can't defeat it, and well, either to experience or remove 1 health. There is no way to control these events. You have to deal with them as well, given the cards. This kind of cards is good, but these events are just way too hard. Yeah, so I'm hoping for an expansion where you get some better cards, you have more control, more agency. Another point of critique I have with this game is that there are not enough ways to reduce blight. You have to be either lucky with the unsure herbs thing. Oh yeah, the unsure. I need to explain one more thing. This here. Unsure herbs. If you're lucky, you add 2 defense. What does that mean? So if your starting defense is 1, you can only reset to 1. But add to defense does not say respecting the starting defense. So in this case, you add 2 defense and you stay there until you get lower. And when you reset it again to 1. So this does increase your defense, even though over your starting defense. So the rule book, I can fix that. I wrote a companion for it, but the randomization is just it's beyond my control. So if you're very determined, you can you can sit through it. And what I also miss is the lore. There are 20 something scenarios, and actually when you play through this, you have done more than 4 passes through the dungeon. So it's a 5-hour experience, to put it mildly. If you survive, and yeah, well, like so many Kickstarters, it has good idea, but it's not for me. So the next adventure will be Sleeping Gods. I already saw a lot of problems with Sleeping Gods, and well, let's see how that goes. But this one, I'm happy to have sold it. Okay, bye for now.